Good morning, everyone. Fixing to go into Stellarium and show you what we were talking about in the previous two videos in the heavens. But to start with, I'd like to back up. And we're going to talk about the Magi who followed the stars to the nativity scene where Jesus was born. They followed the star. They came from the east, so they were following a western star. Western. They come from the east. That means they were moving west. Not an eastern star, but a western star. The word comes from, we get our word imagine from Magi. We also get the word, laid that groundwork before I even go into Stellarium. I have very few views on these last two videos about this subject, trying to explain this. Comments from literally only a couple of people that even seem interested, that are actually following the links and trying to understand and have an interest in it. So either you're not understanding, you're not interested. I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like I'm wasting my time here. My point is I'm not getting my point across. Nobody wants to do their homework. I feel like I'm back in school again with a bunch of kids in the class that just would rather be at recess. Everybody seems to be more interested in the propaganda. I guess we all have our own lives and interested in doing what we want to do. Be that as it may, let's go into Stellarium. The verb, first video, means word. It's an action, and that stands for the planet Mars. Let's see if I can get this to work for me. So in the beginning was the verb, the word, the planet for action, the verbal planet, the verb, the action, the word relates to Mars, planet of action. It's also war. There's also a statement in the New Testament that Jesus made, I come not to bring peace, but war. And that is repeated in the book of Revelations. Okay, so next we have, it's a triune. It has to be a triune. Next we have Mercury. Mercury's the messenger, right? The messenger brings the word. So you need a triune between Mars, Mercury, and you in your birth chart. And where Mercury and Mars, the constellations that they are in, will make a triangle to your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign. You'll have 3. some of you, your moon sign, your sun sign will be the same, because your moon and your sun are there together. But regardless, your sun sign, particularly the day you were born, Mars will be in one position, Mercury will be in another, and when you add it, you'll get your triangulum. It's called a third-person perspective. Back to the first video and why I showed you it's in the third person. It's like me referring to myself as lvt instead of me, myself, I. When you die, you come out of your body and you see your body from above. You're in the third person perspective. Okay? When you die and you have a life review, you are reviewing, you can actually see yourself. You see yourself from a third person perspective. It's the exact same thing. This is what we're talking about. It has, why the triune? Because here is the action in Mars, the verb, the word, but here's the messenger that brings the word. And who's the word for? It's supposed to be for us. But each of us are born on a different day, different place, different time, different setup in the sky. So you have to know yourself. You have to enter into that triune of these two compared to your birth chart here in Stellarium, not the old one, not the 2,000-year-old calendar. That's, let's call that a past life event, because that ain't happening now. We're talking about what's happening now, not in these old charts, and not the new one they're trying to slam down on us, because they're flipping the switch on us right now. They're turning everything around just to maintain control. So let me go. Do I even have it? I do not. I'm going to have to turn back on my internet. As you can see, the drop in the video count is drastic among the last two videos. And, but a comment was made by a particular viewer about the sounds that Bill Donahue introduced in his video in the Emerald Tablets, that we were told, say these words and you'll dispel the darkness, and repeat this, and they made the comment that they have a problem with repeating things. I agree, but everything's repeated. It's repeated in the heavens, and it all has to do with sound, because sound is a frequency, and it takes sound to make the design. I've done myself among countless others have shown how you can speak a word, a vibration, a tone, a frequency, and it will form a pattern, like in sand on glass, and you can put a certain sound on it and it'll make a shape, a symbol, a sound. And so I get that part of why those words and why they should be repeated. At the same time, that again is a very old message in a very old tongue and not translated very well. And it is obvious that the English language was designed by Daniel Webmaster, and it's a tongue of deception. What we speak, the words we speak, they can literally harm us. At the same time, they can heal us. So what it is we need to do is find out the word, back to Stellarium, for today that heals. We need the messenger to bring the word, to us. Because actually, Bill Donahue claims that was given 30,000 years ago. Those words. 30,000. Now that's a long time ago, and the stars were in a different place and the words were different. And that's basically what it boils down to. And if you understand the constellations or the consonants, and they are fixed, yet been changed, because they keep changing the zodiac, but the planets move, and they're vowels. They're the vowels of L. They hold the position in the alphabet of vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Why? When it's convenient for them to keep control over us, that's why. And it has to do with the mouth and the way the tongue is positioned and the frequency that it makes. And I'm going to leave this as part 3, and if the interest grows, I will continue. Otherwise, I'm going to discontinue this series because nobody seems interested. I'm disappointed. I could care less about the views. It's, are you getting it? And is it helping? If what I'm showing you is not helping, then I feel like I'm just wasting my time. I want us all to learn to let there be love one among another. I'm trying to find a solution to this problem we have in the world, this authority that rules over us. And we're told that we war not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and high places. Well, these are your powers and principalities. Facts change. It's a fact. I'm making this video right now. But when I turn it off and I'm not making it, then that fact no longer exists. But there are principles that do not change. Like gravity. You throw the coin up in the air, it's going to come down. That's a principle. That's the way this material matrix is set up, by principalities, principles, and powers. Okay? And that's what we're warring against. That's what we're Marsing against. Action planet. Planet of war. Male, masculine. The word, even. Going through all this, I understand now why the Catholics set up a society of monks that never speak a word. They take a vow of silence. And they speak not. Do you understand why they do that? Words manifest, especially when they're attached to your emotions. Your words attached to emotion of fear. It's like we live on the forbidden planet. What we think, what we say, what we do, we bring forth into our own realities. And when they get a consensus, the collective mind, to let's all go along, they want to put us all on one page. They want a one world order. That means only one in the sky. They want to get rid of everything else when there are many rulers here. It reminds me of the comment Bush Sr. made. We have a chance, a real chance at this new world order. And he talked about 1,000 points of light.